Good morning. If you all don't know, we have some great events happening in our city this summer. Last weekend we had a great artscape. Hamilton has been playing at the Hippodrome. Friday is Baltimore's birthday bash at the Assembly Room. And on Saturday night we will have a World Championship boxing in Baltimore at the Royal Farm Arena. And that is all thanks to this young man next to me. Welcome home, Tank. I'm really excited for the championship this weekend as the mayor of this great city, but also as a fan of the sport. This is huge for Baltimore City as a world-class tourist destination and for the generation of residents who haven't had a chance to experience this type of event in their hometown. I want to thank Tank, Leonard Ellaby, and their team at Mayweather Production for making this dream a reality. Tank Davis, a two-time super featherweight world champion, will defend his WBA 130-pound title fight right here in Charm City, becoming the first world champion from Baltimore to make a homecoming defense in nearly 80 years, and that's huge. The boxing history of Baltimore dates back over a century, and during that time, our great city has produced 8 world champions and numerous top contenders. And I'm really excited to cheer our latest champion on as he defends his title right here at home. To honor and commemorate this historic event, and to thank Tank for bringing this title fight back home, I have a mayoral salute for Tank. And where is it? Here. And this is the City of Baltimore mayoral salute. On behalf of the citizens of Baltimore, I'm pleased to salute Javante Tank Davis in recognition of Showtime's championship boxing fight night being held at Royal Farms Arena, featuring Baltimore's own Javante Tank Davis. Tank Davis, a two-time super featherweight champion, will be defending his WBA title in this championship homecoming against Ricardo, you say that name, Nunez, Davis. Davis, who has had KOs in all 5 of this World Championship fight, is the first Baltimore native to return home to defend his title in more than 80 years. Welcome home, Tank Davis. We're so proud of you. Go get him. June 24, 2019. Bernard C. Jack, young man. All right. Okay. I also have a special honor for Tank because this is such a big deal for Baltimore and its resident. As Mayor of Baltimore City, it's my pleasure to present Javante Tank Davis with the key to the city. Is that the key? Okay. And this is the key to the city. All right. There you go. Hold on for 1 minute. Okay, now I've talked enough. Let's hear from the man of the honor, Javante Tank Davis. All yours, champ.
First of all, I want to say thank you all for coming out. I appreciate it. I'm very excited to be coming back home to Baltimore to bring on a big fight, a big event. I actually grew up here. I stayed here, you know, to be able to, you know, be reachable for the youth, you know. So I ain't really want to do it out of town. I want to do it from home. So it's more meaningful, you know. So we're a couple of days away. I'm ready. I'll definitely be here more, you know, to be able to do community work, you know, for my city. And I appreciate you all for coming out. Thank you.
All right. Well, Tank, I want to thank you and wish you good luck on Saturday. I'll be there to cheer you on.
Yes, sir.
Any questions for the champ?
Mr. Davis, the mayor has suggested that boxing, a more robust boxing opportunity for youth, this is a serious question, not a funny question, might be something that would better engage youth in this city. Do you have an opinion about that?
I believe boxing actually, you know, saved my life. You know, if you don't know that a couple guys, you know, was older than me that you know that I came up under actually got killed to the violence of the streets and things like that. So I was one of them guys that, you know, stayed in the gym and stayed hungry, you know. So boxing did save my life. So bringing, you know, making boxing big in the city will save a lot of other kids' lives.
I mean, what the mayor really said was like, let's literally have disputes that might turn into people shooting each other, turn into boxing matches instead. Do you think that could work?
Yes, I believe so. It will help out the city a lot. You know, actually, you know, it will make kids go to the gym more. You know, not just doing it because of anger. You know, they doing it because they love it. You know, so I believe it'll work.
Did you ever think you'll get the key to the city?
I remember when I think Ray Lewis got it first, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know who got it. But you got it. You got it now.
But I think I remember Ray Lewis or Sam Cassell was getting it or something like that. But just being a part of that, you know, I never thought I'd get it, but you know, I never thought I'd be here, but I'm here, so I appreciate the opportunity and I make the best of it.
Thank you. All right. Any general questions from? Okay. All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, guys.
First of all, we're making steady progress in fully restoring our ability to send monthly bills to our customers. I mentioned recently that we'll be in position by early August to begin sending bills to customers, and we're working towards that goal. Starting today, DPW mailed a postcard alerting Baltimore City and County customers that their water bills will be resuming soon, and explaining that their first bill will be higher than normal and cover the months of May, June, and July. The postcards will start arriving this week, and during the outage, water meters in Baltimore City and County were not impacted. They continuously and actively register water consumption during the past 3 months. Any questions about our water?
Well, Mayor, how much leeway would it give people who get bills if they might have trouble paying, you know, like given the fact that it could be several $100s?
Well, first of all, we asked every citizen, including myself, to put on the side what their normal monthly water bill is. Some people have done that, and I'm hoping that most of the citizens have done that.
But if they haven't, are you going to punish them? Is that what you're saying?
We don't punish anybody, but everybody have to pay their bills. Rudy?
Thank you for the question. So first of all, as the mayor indicated, the bills will be coming out sometime early August. Clearly, that bill is going to be a long bill, and some citizens may find themselves having difficulty in making the payment. So so first of all, I want to say, you know, the city has waived the penalty on those bills, and certainly my customer service center are available on extended hours to answer any questions. But we do offer payment plans. We do offer the 6-month payment plans, the 12-month payment plans, and if we need to go beyond the 6 and 12-month, the typical payment plans, our law department will be assisting us to customize some sort of payment. But we do offer you know, income-based affordability programs such as BH2O, BH2O Plus, as well as low-income grants for anyone that's fallen behind on their bills.
Anything else on water? Just want to clarification on those bills. Does that allow people to catch up so that they're not constantly just behind on the water bills? How does the payment plans work out? Because, you know, the mayor said people should set things aside, but Social Security exists because Americans aren't such great savers.
Sure. I mean, so what we would do is we take the balance, and then based on the program that the customer has selected, whether the 6-month or the 12-month, spread them out in those during those periods, and whatever based on whatever that payment they are comfortable with. And of course, with that payment, they also have to keep up with their future payments in order to not have the payment plans breached.
So there'll be no new financial aid as a result of this, to help people deal with this?
Well, we have our current program. So for example, for those low-income citizens where we have low-income assistance program. So in other words, is that if low income that is 175% poverty level or below, if you have arrearage in terms of your water bill and you've qualified for that, you get $250 grants to take that off the total balance, and then whatever the residual will work on that through the payment plan. And certainly going forward with the future bill, we've got the BH2O and BH2O Assist program kicking in to help them to manage the future bills.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any general questions, guys?
Mr. Mayor, the Solicitor General has appealed the so-called gag order and non-disclosure agreements and settlements over police and other cases. Can you explain your thinking in terms of, I assume you backed his decision, and what your thinking is?
That's not my thinking. The law department is responsible for negotiating the terms of agreement that the mayor and city council enter into to settle claims against the mayor and city council. The law department has stopped using the non-disparagement language at issue in the Fourth Circuit case. The change was made when City Solicitor Andre Davis joined the city in the fall of 2017. Persons who have settled matters with the city of Baltimore are free to discuss the substance of their claims against the city. The legislation introduced on Monday, City Council is in conflict with the city's charter, clear mandate that it is the role of the city solicitor and law department to determine how to conduct the legal matters of the city. That's not me.
It's not me. Do you have two phones?
Yes.
Yes. How many phones you got?
How many phones I have? I have two. We have our Deputy City Solicitor who will respond to your question.
So just to clarify, is this a case where the city solicitor makes the exclusive decision, or is this something that you are in agreement with?
So I'd like to address that. The city charter for Baltimore City makes it very, very clear that the legal life of the city of Baltimore, the mayor, the city council, its agencies, is directed by the city solicitor, and right now that's City Solicitor Andre Davis. So he was the one that made the decision to request an on-bank hearing. That petition was filed yesterday. I believe it's available for all of you to take a look at. I read it. I find it very compelling. And we filed it for legal reasons. We are asking that the Fourth Circuit rehear this case with all of the Fourth Circuit, not just the three that made the decision. So we filed it. It's going to work its way through the Fourth Circuit and its processes, and we'll see where it lands.
Are you thinking of appealing this all the way up to the Supreme Court?
We are thinking of succeeding at the Fourth Circuit.
Mayor, do you support the bill? Do you support the bill that the City Council introduced to ban gag orders?
I support the City Council's interest in filing that bill. That's their role. They are the legislative arm of the city. We will respond to the bill as appropriate when the time is appropriate.
Just curious, why isn't Mr. Davis here defending his decision?
Because he's meeting with, well, first of all, his decision doesn't need to be defended, but he's actually meeting with the Attorney General regarding settlement of the opioid litigation. So I think I'm okay to stand in for him.
Okay, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that would you just want to file it, or mine?
No, it was filed on behalf of the City of Baltimore.
Okay. All right.
And I'm the Deputy City Solicitor,
Understood.
so I'm able to speak in his absence.
So I find this a bit confusing. So you're saying for the last better part 2 years you haven't been including these clauses in settlement.
Correct.
But why not just accept the loss in the Fourth Circuit then, if you don't really think that there's a policy reason to have these clauses?
We're not accepting it because we believe it's the wrong decision. As a matter of policy and as a matter of law. The Fourth Circuit decided that case based on First Amendment constitutional grounds when it in fact should have only decided it based on contract provisions. So we feel an obligation, not just for the City of Baltimore and all of you and all of the city's agencies, but for all of the courts and all of the litigants that are part of the Fourth Circuit judicial area, and that includes Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. So it has broad impact. When the Fourth Circuit speaks, that impacts all of those states. So we feel very, very strong that we have an obligation to right what we perceive to be a wrong. That's our role as lawyers. The Fourth Circuit will make its decision. You all might even know that decision before we do, but they will make a decision as to whether or not to rehear this case. If they do, we will proceed. If they don't, we will decide what to do next. But, you know, as lawyers, we feel very strongly about this.
I guess I'm confused because you're saying you don't feel strongly enough about it to keep the clauses in the previous settlement. So
I will tell you what we feel very, very strongly about is that a decision was made before City Solicitor Davis joined the city. And it is his view and his belief that he needs to defend those earlier decisions. But it is also his view and also his very strong mandate to construct the law department the way he thinks it best. So when he got here and he learned of the issue, looked at the settlement agreements, it was within his purview and within his authority to change the language of the settlement agreements. And he did that.
And how exactly did he change the language?
There was language in the earlier agreement that said that a litigant could not discuss their case. The new agreements say you're free to discuss your case. You can say whatever you want about your case. You are not inhibited in any way in discussing the facts of your case. Now, I know this because I negotiated one of the largest police settlements that this city has experienced. And it was a very difficult negotiation. It was of a person who had been allegedly wrongly incarcerated for a number of years. We were able to come to a financial term. Then we turned to how are we going to structure the settlement agreement. And the very first thing that we grappled with is what is the language going to be and what can this litigant say about his case. And it was made very clear very early on that this litigant could say whatever he felt he wanted the world to know about any aspect of his case. How it came to be that he was prosecuted, how it came to be that he was convicted, how it came to be that he went to jail, stayed in jail for so many years, how his life was impacted by that, how he was ultimately found not guilty, what the impact of that was, what is happening with his life post exoneration.
And for the record, what case is that?
I can't remember the name, but I will get you the name.
So to be clear, the city's policy in negotiating these settlements is not to include gag orders.
Well, if I might, we as lawyers don't use the term gag order.
Non-disclosure. They don't contain an NDA.
Well, they're called non-disparagement agreements.
Okay.
So that's the language I use. But there is a non-disparagement term, but it is not nearly as comprehensive and broad as you can't talk about your case. We all think people should be able to talk, well, we think people should be able to talk about their cases. Here's one reason why. These are public records. Complaints are public. It's out there.
But just to finish my question,
sure.
Clear this for us. So the city's policy is not to include these agreements in these settlements.
The city's policy is to not include the language that was included prior to September 1, 2017.
So, and the purpose of the city taking the position to petition the court, the Fourth Circuit, is on the broader principle of these types of agreements.
Correct. Correct. And to put on as fine a point on it as I can, the Fourth Circuit 3-panel judges was a panel of 3. 2 judges decided this case, the Overby case, on constitutional grounds. 1 judge said, no, this is not a constitutional claim. Ms. Overby does not have a constitutional claim. So we agree with the dissenting judge. It's very, very important.
Under the arrangement now, you can put the non-disparagement clauses back into future settlements, correct? You have the right to do that. If the city solicitor decided in September 1st, 2017 not to do it, the city solicitor can decide to do it.
Well, let me say this. We already said that persons who have settled their claims have the free right to discuss it. And that's how it is.
Mayor, you want to sign that legislation from the council to pass it?
I'm going to abide by whatever the city solicitor tells me as far as that is concerned.
Mayor, you know, there was a report from the monitor, the federal monitor, regarding the progress the police department was making with the consent decree. They said there were still serious lapses in, you know, the internal affairs of the Personal Ethics Bureau, whatever. And they also said that they have not yet authorized an investigation into the root causes of the gun trace task force. Does that concern you? Do you want the department to pursue that? I know you've been outspoken about that in the past.
Absolutely. Is anybody from the law department here?
I am.
I mean, from the
Oh, from
police
the
department here? Okay. I want the police department to be fair and objective in everything that they do. And transparency is really the center of what I'm doing as mayor, what I've done as council, and as I've done as president of city council. And I'm quite sure that the commissioner is working on those issues that he's just been here, what, 4 months, 5 months?
Yeah.
5 months. So he's putting together his team. His team is already in place. He has one more important piece to that puzzle, and we're hoping that by the month's end or early August, that person that will be in charge of looking at all of that will be in place.
And ultimately, you want to see them investigate the root causes of the gunfire?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Mayor, could you comment on the carjacking in Guilford and the assault of the woman?
Well, I just heard about that this morning on the news, and like I said before, these type of incidents are unacceptable. And people say they are sick of me saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. It's unacceptable, and there's no excuse that anybody can make for that type of behavior anywhere in this city.
Mayor, you were with the commissioner and others on Thursday with the presentation of the new crime plan and the 5-year strategic plan. Are you confident that this approach, which focuses on very small areas which really account for most of the gun violence, I guess the way I'll ask the question, are you confident the police department's equipped to attack both those areas which historically have been responsible for the most gun violence and to provide the public with a general sense of safety and you know, we've had a deputy police commissioner Rob on the street. We've had these 2 incidents in the last 24 hours, which are really appear to be economically driven kinds of crimes. Are you confident the police department is equipped to do both things?
I think they are equipped to do both things. You know, we have our federal partners and our state partners that have come to the table to help us out. You know, the police can't be everywhere, but targeting those most violent crimes is the centerpiece of this crime fighting initiative, and also with some preventive measures in place as well to make sure that people are getting the resources they need and to make sure that they clearly understand there's consequences for their crimes, because people seem to think that there's no consequences because they're getting away with murder.
All right, thank you. That's it. We gotta go. Thank you, sir.